The story commences with Hina, filled with fear, witnessing her mother being consumed by a mysterious black hole. Just before her mother vanishes, she urgently instructs Hina to find the renowned Red Baron with the white star. She places a black orb containing the number 10,000 into Hina's hand. Motivated by her mother's plea, Hina embarks on an unwavering 5-year quest. Eventually, she arrives in a small town where fate leads her to an encounter with a masked man. However, his unsettling behavior causes other girls to flee. This peculiar individual, known as Licht, boldly asks Hina for money, claiming to have wasted his funds and being unable to afford food. Frightened, Hina runs away from Licht, but he persistently pursues her. However, a wild-looking woman named Nana suddenly appears and rescues Hina by slapping Licht. Grateful for Nana's help, Hina is introduced to her and receives food as an apology for Licht's behavior. During their conversation, Nana, with blue hair, reveals a startling truth about their world: a unique count assigned to individuals from birth, serving as a ranking system for survival. When someone's count reaches 0, they are pulled into the abyss. Those with higher counts hold authority over those with lower counts. Unaware of this system, Hina expresses her confusion, and Nana explains further. Nana discloses that counts can be increased by performing actions related to one's accord. For example, compliments about Nana's cooking raise her count, while Hina's count increases with each mile she walks. Surprisingly, Hina discovers her count has reached an impressive 441 miles. As Hina prepares to continue her journey, she encounters a soldier named Davi, who claims to be the legendary Baron she has been seeking. Overjoyed, Hina accompanies Davi. Meanwhile, Nana asks Licht to ensure Hina's safety, but he is occupied with children who have stolen his beloved stuffed toy. Simultaneously, tensions rise as Davi's inappropriate behavior becomes apparent in the government office. Unable to tolerate it, Hina bravely attempts to restrain Davi using the black orb. With her higher count, she demands him to stop his misconduct. However, Davi cunningly manipulates the situation and challenges Hina to a star-staker duel where they wager their counts. With his superior skills, Davi brutally defeats Hina, reducing her count to just 1. The victory is short-lived, as Davi and his henchmen turn hostile, demanding the black orb. Confused and devastated, Hina questions Davi's motives, longing to understand why he would betray her trust. In a surprising turn of events, Davi reveals that he is not the true legendary Baron. Just then, Licht arrives to rescue Hina, and Davi and his henchmen find amusement in Licht's negative count, which defies expectations. Despite his count being below 0, Licht remains unaffected by the black hole's pull. With newfound clarity, Licht advises Hina to abandon her pursuit of the legendary Baron, exposing them as murderers rather than heroes. Tensions rise further as Davi begins to grasp the impossibility of Licht's negative count. Confidently, Licht discloses his true identity as Licht Bark, the genuine legendary Baron with a white star. The number of foes he has defeated, an astounding 5,700, is engraved on his formidable sword. The stage is set for a fierce battle between Licht and Davi, leaving Hina to contemplate the truth she once believed. In the aftermath of a devastating war that left the world in ruins, a group known as the legendary Red Baron emerged as a symbol of hope. They fought bravely and brought an end to the war, but mysteriously disappeared afterward. Fast forward to the present, where Licht holds Hina tightly, creating fear among the surrounding soldiers. Davi, aiming to defuse the tension, dismisses Licht as an impostor and orders 3 soldiers to attack him. However, Licht vanishes with tremendous force, causing an explosion and leaving the soldiers stunned. Meanwhile, Nana, a familiar face and an old acquaintance, watches the events unfold from the royal god's base. Intrigued, the old acquaintance asks Nana about the situation. Nana reveals that Licht is known as the Flash Baron, with an astounding true count of 5,700. The negative count of 999 represents the number of rejections he has faced from girls in the past. With Davi defeated, Licht seizes Hina's ballot with the intention of selling it. In return, he gives her his doll, indicating that he is not the hero she had hoped for. Devastated by the loss of her mother's cherished memento, Hina is left in despair. Back in town, Hina confides in Nana, sharing her heartbreak over Licht's actions of exchanging the ballot for the doll. Nana examines the doll and returns it to Hina with a warm smile. To their surprise, the doll bursts into a profusion of flowers, revealing that the ballot had been hidden inside it all along. Nana explains to the bewildered Hina that Licht's decision was to protect her, as possessing a ballot is considered a crime. With newfound clarity, Hina becomes determined to find Licht and asks Nana to stay together. However, driven by his own twisted nature, Licht rejects her plea, causing Hina immense emotional pain and pushing Licht's negative count to a staggering -1,000. As Licht departs, one of Darvi's men emerges from the shadows, having witnessed the exchange. He realizes the significance of Licht returning the ballot to Hina, recognizing that Licht's value lies not in the ballot itself but in his character. Expressing gratitude to Hina for leading him to Licht's location, the man vows to inform his true commander about the discovery. In a peaceful mountain village, Major Line of the Royal Guards is busy preparing flyers for a children's playground. Her subordinate, Pele, enters the office with news about the masked boy, Licht. However, Line prioritizes their volunteer duties, emphasizing the importance of increasing their counts by helping others. They come across an unusual sight: a masked man dressed in a pudding costume. Recognizing his desperate appearance, Pele suggests offering assistance, seeing it as an opportunity for Line to raise her count. Line hesitates but eventually extends her hand to Licht. However, Licht seizes the opportunity with great enthusiasm, taking advantage of their kindness. Annoyed by Licht's audacity, Pele decides to call it a day, suspecting that Licht's negative count of 1,000 indicates he is a ballot holder. Surviving with such a low count would be unlikely. Line removes Licht's mask, confirming that he is indeed the legendary Red Baron. Realizing they have found the person they were searching for, Line rushes to complete her mission as assigned by her superiors. Without hesitation, Licht quickly disarms Line, underestimating her abilities without her weapon. However, Line surprises him with her powerful legs, planning to protect the villagers from this supposed criminal. Licht realizes escaping her grip won't be easy and resorts to provoking her with perverted actions, attempting to distract her while he makes his escape. As Line watches the situation unfold, Pele mocks her innocence, commenting on her accidental exposure of her panties to Licht, while enjoying a piece of pudding. Meanwhile, in the town, Lieutenant Jael interrogates Nana. Despite her attempts to deceive him, he uses his strong physical prowess to immobilize her, trapping Nana. Trying to mislead Lieutenant Jael, Nana claims that Licht has headed east, concealing any further information. However, Lieutenant Jael detects her deception and orders his men to go west instead. Seeking answers, Hina turns to Nana, who explains that Licht is a ballot holder, a person possessing a ballot that grants them incredible strength and unique abilities based on their count. Nana emphasizes that possessing a ballot is illegal due to the immense power it holds. Realizing the urgency, Hina decides to warn Licht about Lieutenant Jael. However, their plans are delayed as they need to repair Nana's wagon first. Meanwhile, Licht reappears in the village, and Hina gives chase. Numerous misunderstandings along the way lead the villagers to mistakenly believe that Hina and Licht are involved in a lover's quarrel. These misunderstandings allow Licht to escape repeatedly, much to Hina's frustration, especially when her uniform exposes her underwear. The chase abruptly ends when Licht is attacked with iron spikes. Thinking him dead, Line is consumed by anger and sadness at Lieutenant Jael's cruel actions. However, Jael remains indifferent, ordering the soldiers to surround Licht, who pretends to be dead to avoid further conflict. The soldiers attack, narrowly missing Line in the process. In a moment of bravery, Licht steps in to protect her. Witnessing Licht's power, Jael decides to personally engage in the fight, using his ground-based attacks. Licht, realizing the formidable opponent he faces, activates his flash ability, moving quickly to confuse Jael and evade his strikes. However, Jael matches Licht's speed, pushing him back to the ground. To Licht's surprise, he finds himself overwhelmed by Jael's strength. In a surprising twist, Jael reveals his true count of 12,500, more than twice that of Licht's. Jael takes possession of Licht's sword, but instead of keeping it, he returns it to Licht. Jael explains that his count represents his unwavering convictions, and his iron weapons derive strength from these convictions. In the midst of their intense battle, Lieutenant Jael is surprised when Licht displays a hand-to-hand combat technique reminiscent of the Royal Guards. Their clash ends with Licht being ensnared by Jael's unyielding iron whip, causing Licht to surrender willingly. However, Line steps between Jael and Licht, expressing her belief in Licht's inherent goodness based on his help to the village. Despite her plea, Jael remains indifferent, shedding tears and insulting Line's flyers as foolish and belittling her hard work. This triggers something within Licht, allowing him to effortlessly break free from his restraints. Jael realizes that Licht has yet to reveal his true strength, and their battle resumes, with Licht gradually unleashing more power and catching Jael off guard. Licht mocks Jael for his lack of knowledge about the town and demands an apology to Line for his actions. During the intense clash, a girl caught up in the chaos accidentally falls off a nearby cliff due to the fighter's power. With incredible speed, Licht swiftly reaches Line and catches her before she hits the ground. In his playful manner, Licht teasingly complains about Line's weight, which triggers her anger, causing her to express her strong dislike for him. This outburst decreases Licht's count to 1001. In a critical moment, Licht tosses Line towards Jael, warning him to be careful as she is quite heavy. Jael promptly catches Line and carries her to safety. However, Jael's jokingly body-shaming remarks further fuel Line's anger and frustration. As the situation calms down, Jael surprises everyone by using his iron-like superpowers to instantly create a playground for the children in the village. The sudden change in character brings joy to the villagers, including Line herself, as they hadn't expected such a gesture. Jael explains that his iron power doesn't always manifest in its physical form unless he is in proximity to the materials. He instructs Line and others to secure the playground equipment with plaster or build a foundation. Jael informs Line that they will have to continue their mission to pursue Licht in 3 days, and she happily agrees, running off to meet the villagers. Lieutenant Jael's count decreases by 1, transforming from 12,500 to 12,499, as he reflects on his failure to capture Licht and remembers the moment he caught Line in the air. It becomes apparent that Jael hasn't forgotten how much faster Licht was than him when he swiftly caught Line, suggesting that Licht may be lying about his true count and that it is likely higher than Jael's. Hina and Nana find Licht and urgently inform him that all roads have been blocked after his battle with Lieutenant Iron Jael. They explain the situation, emphasizing the need for a solution. Hina expresses some jealousy over Licht fighting for another woman and scolds him for abandoning her. During their conversation over lunch, a dire situation arises when Pelmo finds herself in a life-threatening predicament on an experimental aircraft in the mountains. She begs Licht and Hina to help her fulfill her dream of flight, despite knowing that researching flight is considered a serious offense. Driven by his noble nature, Licht modifies Pelmo's design, although he worries about putting her in danger, despite Hina's admiration. Curious about Licht's own dreams, Hina asks him to share them, but Licht playfully avoids revealing his true aspirations and instead makes a comment about seeing her underwear. Before they can delve further, Pelmo interrupts, announcing the completion of the new aircraft. Their hope is short-lived as a group of soldiers arrives, forcing Licht to destroy the aircraft to eliminate any incriminating evidence. The soldiers accept the explanation that the damaged wings were windmill sails and leave. Pelmo reveals that her count is tied to her dreams coming true, but each failure of her airplanes to fly decreases her count, which has now reached 0. Hina, driven by compassion, tries to rescue Pelmo from the abyss, but it proves to be challenging. As Licht attempts to save Hina, his sword is struck by the abyss's face, triggering a violent flashback. Numbers flash in Licht's left eye, causing him to nearly lose consciousness. Undeterred by the danger, Pelmo enters the abyss with joy, believing it to be the entrance to another world. She promises to return someday. Meanwhile, Licht is left overwhelmed by the encounter and the lingering effects of the flashing numbers in his eye. And that's the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel and comment if you are interested in watching the second part of it. I will be uploading a lot of content like this, so see you in the next one. Peace out.